Hi guys, this is Robert again, and we've watched a couple of videos already. Attack Surface, Attack Vector. We've watched Cloud Computing, and right now we are going to go through diagnosis. So this is very important. David Pereira is going to keep walking us through this journey, and let's hear what he's got to say. Remember, SecPro, we are your cybersecurity team.
We are further into our Roadmap to Cybersecurity series. By this time, you have probably already seen our videos on attack surface and cloud computing. Now, let's try to do a benchmark to find out how secure is our company. How to execute cybersecurity diagnostics. You have different tests like vulnerability assessments, penetration testing, and ethical hacking or red teaming to know how insecure is your infrastructure and your people. Let's start with vulnerability assessment. Vulnerability assessment is an automated test executed against a specific infrastructure. So in this case, the expert executing the test use automated tools. There is a lot in the market like Nessus, the Rapid7 tools, etc. to attack or to detect vulnerabilities in your infrastructure, like your web portals, use it to receive information from your clients, to receive reservations, etc. Your servers, mail servers, storage servers, workstations, your applications, the applications that you use in the daily basis, or applications that you pay to be constructed for you. You pay to a developing company, a developers, to create your own applications. So you need to validate that these applications are not a risk for you or your company or your data. Database servers, your networks, your entire networking infrastructure. This is very critical to know if you have any kind of vulnerability in your network. The IoT and the Wi-Fi networks, wireless networks, and IoT devices like smart TVs or similar. And of course, your cloud infrastructure that you can use to store information or to interact with a service, etc. So, in this vulnerability assessment, the company executing this test needs to provide to you a curated vulnerability report explaining each one of the findings. Curated because normally the automated tools provides a lot of false positives and a lot of false negatives. So, you need to receive a clean report without all the additional things that are not useful for your IT guys. After that, your IT team or your IT guys execute the remediation. So they solve the findings that these tools found. After that, this is a very important step. The experts need to retest your environment to validate that the activities executed by your IT teams or your blue team, it's another way to say it, really works. I mean, they solve the problems that the company detected with the vulnerability assessment. That's a vulnerability assessment. Now let's talk about a penetration testing. A penetration testing is a combination of automated and manual tests executed against a specific infrastructure. One important thing, following a methodology and in a specific time frame. There are three main types of penetration testing. White box, that is a complete audit about the infrastructure providing complete information to the tester. Gray box is an audit about the infrastructure providing limited information to the tester. It's the most common. An example will be, white box, I give you everything about my company, usernames, passwords, topologies, how my network is connected. In gray box, I just going to tell you, okay, we are using some Microsoft computers, some Linux computers, some workstations, and our mail server, it's Gmail. That's it, that's gray box. And black box is an audit to the infrastructure executed without any kind of information. So you do not provide nothing to the penetration tester. So this person or this expert needs to find everything about your infrastructure. Well, how is the process of a penetration testing? The expert executing the test use automated tools and manual tests and exploits. Exploits are tools software tools that allows an expert or a malicious actor to compromise an infrastructure if this infrastructure is vulnerable, a server, a station, etc. So, deep test can involve web portals, servers, workstations, your applications, as we mentioned in the vulnerability assessment, database servers, networks, wireless networks, IoT devices, your cloud services, etc. Everything that we can have in a vulnerability assessment, but in this case, we are going to do manual tests, right? We try to exploit in a manual way this kind of devices. Then you receive a penetration testing report with the evidence of the vulnerability. This is so important. In a penetration testing, the company executing this, the expert executing this, needs to provide you evidence that you are really vulnerable. It's not like the vulnerability assessment that you in the report have a lot of vulnerabilities, but they are not tested. You don't have any kind of validation about these vulnerabilities. In penetration testing, you receive the evidence from the expert, maybe an image, video, etc., showing that you are really vulnerable. Then your IT team, your blue team, executes the remediation, solves the problems found by the expert, and then comes the retest. Again, this is so important. After the remediation, you need to retest your infrastructure. Okay? So remember, the difference with a penetration testing is the penetration tester follows a methodology, I mean a protocol, an order to do the tests, and he or she needs to exploit your infrastructure, exploit the vulnerabilities, and demonstrate with evidence that this exploitation was successful. Okay? That's a penetration testing.